Hi again, I'm Sora Luxon, and this is Lesson 3, Mind Control. Elephants. There, you're thinking about them. I just controlled your mind. So, that's how you do that to other people. Now we can move on to important things that are going to give you real power and control in life. That is, things to do with yourself. There's no real power in magic that doesn't begin with the self. You are how you take power and control it. So mind control is less about getting an army of humans to become your personal marionettes and more to do with learning to take control of your own mind. Because you aren't going to get anywhere with the mysteries until you do that first. All around you all the time for your entire life, you have been inundated with information. And a lot of that information has made its way into your subconscious. And it's set up a series of reactions, responses, beliefs that you actually have limited or more likely no control over. And you can't pull in magical energy, hold it, or work with it until you start getting some control of the vessel. That's you. You're the vessel. Kind of creepy. Think of it like you're a cup, and a cracked cup can't hold water. A whole cup can hold water. You're a cup, and magic is the water in this example. Magical energy isn't actually water. My point is, I have yet to meet the person who is beginning magical training who doesn't have a litany of strange, constant, unevaluated, often severely negative self-talk that is creating a cacophony of nonsense in their head. Unless you've previously trained in a practice of meditation or a craft of honed selfdom, chances are that the horde of yelling mob-like nonsense is in your mind even right now. And people who have begun a practice to clear out and take control of the energy-draining noise in their minds, they will continue to practice and do continue to practice. Because, one, you can always get better at it. It opens a ton of doors. And two, it just feels amazing. It's incredible. It's like taking a nice, long, relaxing shower after a hard day at work. In order to work with magic and for it to be able to work with you, you're going to need a cup without a bunch of your own or other people's cracks in it. And as you move along the path, you'll also want it, you, to be a nice shiny cup that you're consistently polishing. Because then the water it collects has less unnecessary junk mucking it up and slowing it down going into and out of the cup. Meaning the magic will have the opportunity to be more powerful going into and out of you. Ideas are things. And this is where people usually yawn, roll their eyes, and walk away from the best chance they ever had of finding their way to the threshold of the limitless potential magic offers. And yes, I'm talking about the ability to do real, actual, magical things out here in the real world. The sort of things people would think you're crazy if you told them about. Which is why you don't tell them. Or would think themselves crazy if you somehow accidentally or stupidly let them see something they shouldn't. It happens. Telling them they must have imagined it usually works pretty well to cover your tracks if and when it happens. And do you know why it works so well? Because those people without magical insight or training have no, or almost no, control of their minds. They are happy to unconsciously agree with and accept whatever is on offer, whatever they've always been told to agree with and accept without question, because when someone tried to tell them ideas are things, they yawned, rolled their eyes, and walked away. I'll get into the subject of the conscious and subconscious mind and how they influence magic and you more later. But in order to get you started here and now on your training, on your mission, if you choose to accept it, Bond, James Bond, begin with learning to notice and listen to the commentary in your head. There is an endless conversation going on in there, and the first step is to start hearing it instead of being so normalized to it that you don't pay any attention that it's even happening. Once you've managed to start listening to it, look at what it's saying to you with a battle axe in one hand and start cutting out any internal dialogue that's negative, nonsensical, or focus diverting. Start doing that from this moment forward for 3 to 6 months, or as long as it takes, as you continue forward with all of your other occult studies. So what do I mean when I'm referring to this visualized battle axe in one hand to cut up draining, diverting mental chatter? Look at your internal dialogue. Weigh it. Measure it. If you find it lacking, say, nope. See this battle axe in my mental visualized hand? I'm going to cut you right out of there, thought. I see you, I hear you, I question you, and my rational conscious thought says, no, that isn't accurate. I don't agree with it. I don't have time for it. I'm going to let my conscious mind see my internal dialogue. I'm going to challenge my internal dialogue. And if it's unnecessary dialogue, I'm chopping it up into nothing. Now, not everything your internal dialogue is saying to you is going to be bad or is bad. Sometimes it's saying, I'm hungry, let's have food. And then you look at it. It seems like an inconspicuous thought, but I want you to start looking at every thought. So here's an inconspicuous thought. I'm hungry, let's have food. Look at it and recognize it, hear it, and then evaluate it. Am I hungry? Yes, I am hungry is sometimes the answer. Evaluate the habitual thought and choose willfully to agree with it if you agree with it. Sometimes it's going to say to you, I'm hungry. And you're going to start learning to look at it. And when you look at it and ask yourself if you agree, the answer is going to be no, I'm not hungry. And then you're going to wonder about that and you're going to start saying to yourself, you're saying that to me, unconscious dialogue, because of the restaurant logo I just saw. But I'm thinking consciously about this comment now inside my mind, and I'm recognizing that I'm not actually hungry because of a picture I saw out of the corner of my eye. See, that's you beginning to take control back. That is mind control. Habits are things that most people aren't consciously aware of, and they have a massive amount of power, influence, and potential in your life. That's why they're called habits. They're habitual, and you haven't taken control of them. They are running the show. A lot of them are being impressed upon the subconscious without your control being involved at all. The thing is, you can take control of your habits. You can choose them, use them. And you'll have to learn to do that to do more mysterious things later. Being able to hear yourself and then evaluate whether your hearing within yourself should be left in place and built upon, or whether what you're hearing within yourself should be noticed and summarily dismissed because its usefulness is nothing to you, it's failing and a weak thought. This is where magic is going to begin to find an avenue to you and into your life. This is you learning to find the cracks and deal with them. This simple practice of listening to what's in your own head as much as you can, and then making conscious and willful decisions to take those thoughts and either internalize them or to say, get out of here, ridiculous, negative useless thought, nobody's got time for you. This is absolutely going to begin changing your life immediately in a magical way if you do the work and employ the practice. It probably comes as no surprise to anyone that in order to be an initiate of the great mysteries, you have to guard your mind. And you can't guard walls that are built of whatever material came from here and there that other people picked for you and then cobbled together in some messy pile of rubble. Here's some broken bottles and partially bent rebar, the occasional piece of chewed gum slapped onto something barely holding it together within your psyche. Okay, a little far with the imagery, but you get the idea. You need nice, strong, supportive walls if you're going to be useful to yourself or anyone else. And you need nice, strong, supportive walls that you have chosen and that you have full control over, that you have picked the design and built the material and picked that material, all of those elements that you choose. And that means sorting out the rubble, pile, mess that's on the ground first and clearing it away. Then, as you're building your nice new mental ramparts, we can start securing them. Because yes, guarding your mind is magic 101. And you can't guard what you haven't built yet. Mind control's most important aspect is controlling your mind. Start instructing and teaching yourself to control your mind. That is what any adept with their salt does and is always doing. Control your mind or something else will. So begin practicing mind control as much as you can until you get so good at it that it becomes an effortless habit. Then, when someone says the word elephant, you will automatically think, do I want to think about this idea elephant or do I not? No, I don't think I need to think about an elephant. Get out of here, elephant. Nobody's got time for you. I'm in control of this show. Until next time.